Some funds promise diversification, some promise income. OMAH tries to do both, but diversification and income don't automatically mean better results. So instead of looking at yield or strategy descriptions, I ran the full backtest. What happens in up markets, what happens during drawdowns, and does the diversification actually help or dilute performance? Because the real question isn't what OMAH is designed to do, it's what it actually does to your portfolio over time. Let's look at the numbers. Welcome back to Simply Money. If you're considering OMAH for income, diversification, or as a portfolio stabilizer, this breakdown will show you how it really behaves, not in theory, but in real performance, because we pulled the data from the time of inception and we ran the test. So let's dive into the sheet. For those that are new to the channel, thank you for joining us and welcome back to our subscribers. What we do in this series, the all-in series, is we take the hypothetical my income portfolio. What if we bought all of this fund, and today's fund is OMAH. We started this series because I had a request for somebody to do this for a particular fund, and we used this scenario of $525,000. And because we want to be able to compare one fund to another, if you want to look back at other videos, you can do that and you're seeing the same numbers. Or if you want the sheet and you want to do it yourself, you can get a copy of this in the description below at Buy Me a Coffee. All of our sheets are available there. I appreciate all of you that support the channel in the many different ways, buying sheets, making comments, hitting the like and subscribe button, or sharing it on your social media, because that helps the algorithm god say, hey, let's promote this video to other people, and I do appreciate that. OMAR, this is what we're looking at. It was started in March of 2025 at $19.60. This is a monthly paying fund. Here's your ticker symbol, OMAH. With our $525,000 portfolio, we'd get 26,786 shares. Now, for those who want this sheet, you can change the date that you start. You can change the amount that you invest. And over here, we have some calculators where we can change the percentage that you drip. And over here, you can change the amount you keep out and how much you drip would be the remainder. So different ways you can run that. We'll look at that here in a moment. Here we go. Looking at this, again, a monthly paying fund. Remember, this is not financial advice. This is for informational and educational purposes only. Remember, all investments do have risk. Here's what we do. Again, monthly payer. The share price, it started at $19.60. It held pretty strong. It dropped a little bit, but then over the last couple months, it has dropped down here to $18.19. We don't have the end of February yet as of the making of this video. It's down 7.19% since inception. Almost a year, about 11 months here we're looking at. It has done okay. It hasn't done horrible. We'll see how it continues to do. I know a lot of people were really high on OMAR when it first came out. They were like, oh, I'm going to get this. It's following Berkshire Hathaway's funds, and it's doing covered calls on those funds, and it's trying to target a particular amount that it pays each month. What has it done in distributions? 25 cents, got down to 23 cents, back up to 24, now 23. So it's been pretty consistent. It's had a little bit of drop, but the price has been fairly consistent as well. Your distribution has been fairly consistent in this short time frame. In column D, what we have is a full drip. If we take this amount per share, this is how much we get, and we take the distribution here, $6,600, almost $6,700, and we buy more shares. And so column G here, we're tracking how many more shares that we get. What we're looking at here in column D is the amount that we're receiving in distribution. We're buying more shares with all of this. We take the distribution and we totally reinvest it. Doing that, over this time frame, you're able to add almost 4,000 shares. Your portfolio value has gained $34,000 because you are down a little bit on share price, but you've gained more shares, so you were able to increase your portfolio balance by about 6.47%. Not a fantastic year by any means. This is something to just watch and look at. Now, with the 50% drip, we take half of it. We buy more shares. Take the other half, which this represents half, so you get this 2 times. So you get 33.48 and you buy more shares over here in column H. You also get 33.48 as income. Doing that, you've received in this year $36,000 of income, and you got $36,000 that you bought more shares. So you got another 1,900 shares, and you've received $36,000 of income. But your portfolio balance is down about $3,000. So negligible in the sense of, you took out $36,000 of income. So something to think about there. Again, this is another fund, very short time frame. I like looking at things like SCHD, where I have 15 years of data to look at, and you can really see how did it do during 2022? How did it do during the pandemic? How did it do during the Liberation Day? All these different things. Did it recover? How is it done? And so when you have funds with, 5 years minimum, 10, 20 years of data, you can really get a better picture of how it performs. Covered calls are very new. They've been around for a while, but they weren't really that popular. You had like Jeppy, that's been around for a little while, but they're getting more popular. But some of them are doing great and others are not. And that's why I'm doing this entire series, because even these new funds, they get a lot of hype. People market the yield, people market the income, maybe they market the underlying fund, whatever they're marketing. What really matters is how does it perform? And so we're looking at whatever data we have and doing our best to analyze it. And I caution you with any fund, even the ones that I show here that have done really well, if it's been a short period of time, it could die in a bad market, and we don't know. So you have to use your own discernment and do some research. So please, please be careful. Again, now with the zero drip here in this column, we take this full amount, and it's been very consistent in this year. It's gone down slightly, and that's, could be a concern if you're retired and living off of it. Nobody likes a pay cut. It started out at $6,700. Now you're down to $6,200. A $500 a month pay cut could mean making or not making a bill for some people. So that's something to consider as well. How will it perform long term? We don't know. Hopefully it'll rebound and we'll see that balance out and start going back up. But you haven't added any shares because you're taking the full distribution and you're living off of it. If you had done that for the year, you would have gotten $70,000. So not too bad for income, but your portfolio balance is down almost $38,000. It's not as pretty as it looks. We like looking at the income, and this is where a lot of people will market or sell it or do a YouTube video and say, look at the income. I made $70,000 off of OMAH, but they don't show that they lost almost $38,000 in portfolio balance. Now, again, in 2 years, 3 years, this may rebound and go back up. We don't know, but I'm showing you what we have. And I'm not going to just show you the income and be all rainbows in the sky, all that good stuff. I'm not going to just show you the positive and not show you the negative. That's part of what we do. The good, bad, ugly, and indifferent. We show it to you, and I want you to make your own informed decision. I'm not saying this is a bad fund. I'm just saying this is what it's done. Make your own decision based off the information you can gather. How is it done? Total return. That's all that matters, really. Income's great. Return's great, but total return is what you want to look at. Again, 1 year is not a great time frame to see, but it gives you a little sample. How is it compared to the underlying funds? How is it compared to the stock market as a whole? Well, it definitely underperformed. If we look at the full drip, you just take your distribution and you buy more, you're up 6.47%. Now, 50% drip, you gain $36,000 of income, but you lost $3,000 in balance. So you had a $33,000 gain. Now look at the 50% drip. As you see here, that the amount that you received was $36,000, but your portfolio dropped $3,000. So your gain was only $33,000, which is a 6.38%. If you notice that it changed, it's because I caught an error in the formula. That does happen. If you ever get a sheet and it has an error, please let me know. Those who have done that, please testify in the comments down below that I am very responsive. I've actually made some really big improvements based on people's comments, so I appreciate that. I'm human. I'm going to make some errors. If you see it, let me know. I will fix it. I will make it right for you. I try to respond as quickly as possible. All you have to do is shoot me an email with whatever concern you have, and I will make it right. Again, I make errors. I'm human. And sometimes in my testing, I miss something. And I've actually had somebody just recently in the cash flow engine worksheet that we have, they gave me a suggestion and I worked on it for about 2 weeks. I probably put in about 30 hours revamping it and making a version. I'm still tweaking it. We're testing it right now, but we've made it way more dynamic. And that was by their suggestion. And I appreciate those that provide that because we're just improving the tools that we provide for you guys. And I do appreciate that. With that being said, errors are going to happen. Don't feel like, oh, I bought this and it's crap. Just let me know. I will fix it. Okay, now going to the zero drip. Here we gained $70,000 in income, but we lost $37,000 in balance. So we really only gained $33,000 or 6.28%. Now, if I was to look at that and say for 1 year, you got a 6% total return, it's okay. I mean, it's positive. We're all happy about that. But 2025 was a pretty good year overall in the stock market for most funds, for most companies. And so I'd be a little disappointed in this. That's just my opinion. Again, you're going to have to make your decisions. Maybe this fits into your portfolio, your overall goals, and that's where people look at me and they're like, you have way too much SCHD. I love it. I like it. It's my portfolio. You're going to make personal finances or personal, make it fit what your goals are and what your tolerances are. All right. Now coming over here, you can change the percentage. Here I have 30% that you're going to drip. So you're keeping 70%. You can see with that, we had about a $17,000 decline in our portfolio balance, but we got $50,000 in income. You could put 20%, you could put 80%, whatever you want there. This is why we have this calculator, so you can put the percentage you want. Again, this was a suggestion by a viewer. Thank you guys for those comments and suggestions. And this one here, another suggestion by a different viewer, was add a amount that you can take out. Instead of a percentage, say I need $3,000. So you put $3,000 in. That's how much you keep out. Whatever the balance is gets reinvested. As you can see here, the balance that you took out was $33,000. Your portfolio gained $2,500. You added 2,200 shares to your portfolio. Again, that's with 3,000 being distributed. You can put in 1,000, 4,000, whatever you want to do. And this is for people who say, okay, I have income, but I just need an X number of dollars. So I want to see that, and the rest goes in. They don't know what percentage. They just know I need, $3,000 a month, and I just want to see what that would do to the portfolio. That is what these calculators are for, to kind of personalize them for you to put in the numbers you want. That is OMAH. What are your thoughts on it? Have you thought about buying it? Do you own it? How long have you been into it? What do you do with your strategy on the distributions? Are you a full dripper, no dripper, somewhere in between? Are you rerouting the cash into another fund? Let us know in the community below. We love dialoguing and discussing things. I try to respond to almost every comment the best I can, and I appreciate all of that dialogue and the community we're building. I appreciate you joining me. And don't forget, let me know on improvements, or the best thing, what fund do you want to see? The more times a fund gets recommended by someone, the higher up it moves in the sheet that we have tracking on what we're going to video next. OMAH got a lot of requests, so it's been moved up. There's some other funds that we're going to be looking at, but this is OMAH. This is Simply Money. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you next time.